Okay, here goes. Second one. Sorry, my voice is still funky. There's Winston. He's listening and watching. All right, pulled out of the file is this document, Holding the Posture, from Kripalu Center in 1994. Um, so, yeah, I'd just been teaching a few years by then. Hadn't actually gone through teacher training yet, but was deep in the practice, and I underlined some notes here, really nicely done. So I'm going to read what I underlined, and it can be part of, I don't know, a discussion, some feedback, something to think about. I mean, remember, this is pre-yin. There was no yin. This is the original yin, Kripalu yin, I don't know, whatever. But I wrote, learning to how to consciously relax at every stage. So a developing holding posture, becoming more and more conscious. Be conscious about fear in your mind. And that's preconceived fear that has no reality base. So, fear in the pose, in the practice. Use breath as a second stage for releasing the fear, fear-induced tensions. And that starts to dissolve some of the old long-term blocks in the body-mind. So let go of the fear as consciously as you can. Each time you practice, you reach into another level of fear. So I've always said that as the layers of the onion, that a practice or a posture, a pose. I don't even know apparently we can't say pose or posture anymore. It has to be. I don't even know what it is. I'm sorry. I'm a bit grumpy about some of the stuff and how things can't say it a certain way or whatever anymore. And I don't know. I think that's what I had some pushback around in the years of not teaching anymore, because I felt like I was going to blow it or get canceled or something. But I'm just going to go for it here. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Um, further to that, what's the point of holding a posture? It's to relax. And every time we do that, we make a decision to go beyond. So go beyond the edge. It opens our consciousness and expand a concept of who we are. I love that. I underline that. Um, you know, and what happens at that point of wanting to let go is we experience physical pain or feeling threatened mentally, and our mind creates all kinds of reasons why we should stop and come down or come out of the pose. When in fact our minds don't realize that we actually have a greater capacity than what we're experiencing in this moment. Um, if we maintain those limits, we rebuild the walls of those limits through concepts about ourselves. Okay, so that's why we're holding. So, by you know, and old memories of pains and traumas that are no longer true in the present moment. So there's that trauma word, 30 years ago, before it was kind of the buzzword, but we have opportunities to go beyond, at least in how we approach holding and staying in a pose. So every limiting concept is really a held tension in the body. So every limiting concept we have about, the world, the mind, the heart, ourselves, is held in the body. So we can, as soon as you let go of that tension, there's a letting go of pain, because the tension is really what creates the pain. It's actually technically even a lack of oxygen to the tissues that create the pain. So there's a real physical, external physical component to these deep holding practices. Yeah, and what I would end by saying, at the point you choose to hold the posture, you're consciously moving into evolution, beyond your limited perception of yourself. What Krishnamurti said, that preconceived notion of ourself that really the mind created. I'm not saying it correctly as he did. He was brilliant, obviously. So Winston and I, Winston's holding a pose right now, buddy. What is that? All right. So, yeah, and I think you can hear those of you that were in classes or things that where I I might not always hold the poses in the class, but some of the language there is the same. Yeah. So hopefully there's a little snippet. There's today's thing from the file drawer. All right. Love you. Thanks. Cheers.